When you first boot the recorder, you'll be faced with the startup wizard. Now we can skip this, but let's follow it through. So we have to enter our username and password. The default is 68, which matches the username. We can obviously change that later if we want to. We get to name the recorder. We get to change what type of hard disk overwrite we're going to have. Does it get to the end and stop, or does it overwrite? We can do things like set the date and time, and the date and time format. Or we can even choose to do the network times settings. We can switch that on, choose where it's going to go and look for that information. Apply that, and off it goes. Another option within the menu is to set the local network address of the recorder itself, which we would access through a web browser and things like that. So we'll come back to that in another video. Once we've done that, we'll move on to the schedule for the recording. As you can see here, it's completely blank because there's no cameras connected to the unit at this time. If we'd set any cameras up, they would obviously appear in here. Now, let's connect a couple of cameras to the system itself. So if we just plug a camera in, we'll plug a second camera in as well. That'll then take a bit of a delay for those video channels to come up. You're typically going to be waiting somewhere in the region of about 30 seconds or so for video to load onto the unit, configure itself, and off it goes. Once that 30 seconds or so is up, our video channels will start to appear on the screen, and we'll now be in a position to move forwards with the configuration. So we've got a couple of channels on the system. Let's swap in next. First thing, we could double click, we can bring them up full screen, we can go back. There's a number of options we've got in there, but the main one we're going to do is configuration. So if we go into the right hand click, go into the main menu. First thing we'll do is look at storage. Now we can see in here that obviously we have a continuous recording 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. By default, that's what the system will set up. We can change that, we can modify that, we can delete information out to clear the day off, or we can add information in. So for example here, we'll set midnight till 9 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock at night till midnight. We'll stick those as regular recording. So we're not going to record during office hours on this particular day of the week, Monday. Obviously we can choose different days, we can choose different bits and pieces, and change the schedule to suit our requirements. So obviously once we've got the cameras in, the cameras are recording by default, and we change the schedule. The other things we might want to do is just adjust the image settings. So the camera menu, under image, we can do all sorts of things in here for each individual channel, and it will update the video on the screen live. Now when I say live, apply that, and then what will happen is it'll flip that image over. We could adjust the mirroring, so again apply that and it will live image the mirror. We'll see it on the screen. Thank you very much. If we adjust things like brightness and that, you'll notice the screen doesn't change. Again, it needs that apply to happen in order to change them on the live monitor. We've got all sorts of configuration options in here, so under day and night, for example, we can choose whether it's black and white, automatic, apply that setting, and obviously it will go and adjust that camera to suit what we've chosen. And you'll notice we're doing all of this through the front panel. We're not having to go and adjust it directly in the camera, because it will talk to the camera and adjust those settings in the camera for us. Obviously once we've set those up, the other things we might want to do is just change how we're encoding that video. So by default, obviously it's going to come up at max resolution, so 1080p, 25 frames a second, and we're running at 4 meg. Now obviously, based on your storage, you'll adjust those to suit. So we can name the cameras, we can put a name in there that suits the requirement. So if we just have a quick look through the menus, we've got the network menu with all the settings in there. We'll cover these in another video. The event menu for setting up any of the event settings. The storage menu we were just in for the schedule. And the last one obviously is the system menu. And this one will cover off any other settings in the system. But again, we'll cover those back later.